Hi guys, how's it going? Thanks for being here. We're going to be chatting about some things that I have gone out and repurchased. I always feel like when somebody shares their empties, like they are speaking from a place of great knowledge on that product. But then if you take that additional step to say, I actually did go and repurchase this thing, that tells me a lot as well. Like that's information I want to receive, and I feel like maybe you guys want to receive that info as well. So I recently felt like I ran out of a lot of different things, just drugstore beauty wise, things I need up here in the makeup room, and I thought I'd share what those things are. I only have my skincare on right now because I thought there would be a few things that I could just apply while we're talking here. But man, I need a sip of coffee. Anybody else feel like it's just been a week? Like, man, I don't know if it was the fact that it was recently that time of the month and I just felt so emotional lately. Maybe it's my child turning 6. Yeah, Rhett's birthday was yesterday. He's 6. I'm shooting this on Thursday. Your kid has a school weekday birthday. It's like, what do? You know, you wake up and, oh, I made him little smokies and we went ahead and had cupcakes and opened some presents. Like, I got going in the morning because it's your birthday and you need to wake up and have some, you know, stuff going on. But it's like, we went through that, out the door, dropped off at school. Here's the cookies that you're going to share with the class. And I came home, and when I say I just felt like I deflated, like I just cried. I think some of it was the reality of him growing up. And then, I mean, you guys remember when I got on here after school had just started and I was just talking about his adjustment to kindergarten. I feel like he's been doing pretty well. He's enjoying school, he's getting into school, he's bringing home some great work. But after that progress report in September where it was like, you know, needs to work on listening, needs to work on like all these different things, all these kind of like behavior oriented things. And it made me wish for this child to like, oh, I wish he'd just mature a little faster. I wish he'd just grow up a little faster. You know, the girls are so mature at that age. It just caused me to think in that way. And the other day when I was having my little mental breakdown, I was like having this complete awareness of like, how dare you wish your child to grow up? Like, this is your youngest child. And just because you didn't like the way something looked on paper on a random progress report, and kicking myself was the feeling there. And then I just felt anxious over like anything I'd recently felt anxious about ever. Like, that's the way I feel sometimes. If I'm in that mode, it's like I'm not just worried about one thing, but then like anything I've recently thought about that's bugged me, like just add it to the list. And I felt so overwhelmed and I just had a good cry. I'm sorry, you guys, you thought you were coming for a beauty restock and I'm just taking off here, but have you ever felt like if you're upset and crying, it's like part of why you're upset is this whole realization, like I'm crying and it's really that bad. I'm in tears and I'm upset. It's like you almost judge yourself for the fact that you have broken down, and that in itself makes you feel even worse. I've felt that way before, and this time I was just kind of like, you know, it actually feels good to just get this out, and I felt better afterwards for having done it. Release of emotions, I don't know. But yeah, I messed up my makeup yesterday morning. Was it salvageable? Probably, but I actually decided to just wash it off, and then I did my makeup a second time that day. I just want to be real with you that like that stuff happens and it's okay. It's okay to need to cry or let your emotions out. And don't get so caught up in like, oh, I feel really bad, I'm crying and that makes me feel even worse. No, just recognize the fact that maybe you're releasing something that just needs to get out of your system, okay? I'm feeling good today, I think I'm doing good. I got cotton rounds. I got the premium cotton rounds from Equate. I use these up here sometimes with a little like Bioderma if I'm starting to get ready and I'm like, oh no, somehow there's like some residue around my eyes. I just wipe that stuff away, and it's just good to have some cotton rounds around, right? And I've got a great little holder over here, but it's been empty for so long. I'm like, I'm filling that holder. And then also when I do like swatches or lip swatches or just like up here testing and doing whatever, you gotta have some wipes. So I got these like sensitive wipes. They're fragrance and dye free. Having some wet wipes around is never a bad idea. Here's a funny story about how I MacGyvered a wet wipe in the car the other day. I had some of those little mini like Halloween treat size bags of cheese balls, and sometimes like I keep a few little snacks in the car because as I'm taking Biddy and Ugga to go pick up Belle from her school, like they want a little something and it just kind of keeps everybody happy, you know, okay, here's something to eat, pass it back. And I guess Rhett had taken his and put him in the car door and hadn't finished them from like the day before, and so on the way to school he was eating those and his fingers just got orange. Like, I don't know how I, as an adult person, can eat Cheetos or similar things and be like unscathed, but a kid really has to feel it, I guess. Anyway, his fingers were completely orange. I'm like, okay, I'll just get my wet ones out of the little console area or glove box. You know what? I didn't have any wet ones. There must have been a cheerleading competition. Somebody must have thrown up. I don't know. No wet ones. What I did have was a dashboard wipe, a woolly wipe. It was a dry wipe. Came in the car like when we bought it. And I did have a squeeze tube of hand sanitizer. And so just there in the school parking lot, I squeezed the hand sanitizer onto the woolly wipe, created my own wet wipe, wiped his hands clean. They were no longer sticky, nor were they orange. And yeah, I did that. But it's just easier to have wipes, so I got wipes up here. I'm in a mode today, as Bub would say. Here's another thing I restocked, my niacinamide from Good Molecules. I apparently didn't buy my niacinamide and my hyaluronic acid at the same time, because I use Good Molecules for both of these, but oh wait, I am low on the hyaluronic. I should have just repurchased that too. All this time I'm thinking like, wow, I'm just flying through the one and not the other. No, I'm actually about out of that one too, but I like this. I think this brand is good. I've said in the past I could go back and forth between these or the Ordinary, but these are handy like just at Walmart. So around about $5. So I got my new niacinamide and I'll be restocking the hyaluronic soon as well. Now we're starting to get into where I could apply some of the new things that I got. I restocked my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Matte Foundation in Soft Beige. I use my Wet n Wild Photo Focus a lot, and I'm surprised it lasted me as long as it did. Foundations do tend to last me a long time because I'm not a person who's going like pump, 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 or like really getting tons on my skin at once. So I'm always kind of shocked when I do start to run low. But this particular product had a ton of use, and so I thought I always want to have that one on hand. It is such a rock star. It's got great staying power. It's got beautiful coverage. I do own the dewy one as well, but I prefer the matte because I feel like it's a little better coverage and a little better staying power. And I could just tell with my other one, like I'm scraping. I'm using a little spatula that's in there to really get some stuff. So I thought I need to repurchase that. I think it's saying a lot when I repurchase something because I have a lot of options. I own a lot of makeup. I don't absolutely have to, like, in order to own foundation, I have to buy another one. No, like I'm choosing to keep these products in my stash. Here's another repurchase I finally made. My L'Oreal True Match Hyaluronic Tinted Serum Light 2-3. Love this stuff. This is such an elite foundation. Really good staying power. It is so not just like a tinted serum. Like it gives so much more. It's not as glowy or dewy tacky as you might think a product with this name would be. It has a pretty natural finish, but it like locks in for me and wears really well. This is my other one. Like I officially can't get any more out of there, and I'm going to do the transfer of the pump. Because yes, it does come with a dropper. Oh, that dropper's got a lot on it. Dang. I'm trying to like scrape it from the sides of the dropper because maybe today I just use that because I don't want to waste it. And I'm not sure I can scrape it all off. Here's what we're doing. I've already got my skincare on. We're just going to use off the side here. Oh, there was some down in the dropper actually. My other dropper really didn't function well on my first bottle of this. So there we go. I think she's clean and she's going in the trash. Then we take this pump, which I will link below to where you can get these pumps on Amazon. They are fabulous. And now our new one has a pump. And it's got a lid too. Yay. I'm gonna blend now. I'm using my e.l.f. Duo brush. So no particular primer on with this today. Oh, she's so good. Have you guys heard that song from Taylor Swift called Elizabeth Taylor? But now somebody on TikTok has taken it and layered it up with the Backstreet Boys. Everybody. Like the beat of that song. It's wild what a hold that song has on me now. I want to be hearing it constantly. It's like running in my head. I even made a little montage of like my kids' fall break and put that song to it. I like the slower version of that song too, but something about that mashup, like for people my age, I guess, Backstreet Boys, it's so good. Okay, I've got this blended in, getting medium coverage, evened out complexion, not too dewy. I know it's gonna wear well on me. 2 thumbs up, glad I repurchased. And light 2-3 in the shade, by the way. Here's another thing I repurchased. e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Probably could stand to repurchase the hydrating soon, but I realized that the original recipe in this stuff, just the matte, first kind they put out, was A, running low, and B, in a shade that I was like, why am I in such a dark shade? It's in like one of the sand colors there, and I don't know if over time that stuff darkened up. It's not ideal for me. And then I got this light peach shade and it's super duper bright. I maybe could have gone a little less bright than this light peach, but you know what? I'm realizing I love this. I really like this formula and this coverage level. I just use a tiny bit, like literally the smallest dot you can put on skin. I treat it like a pigmented Rare Beauty blush. Okay, that was too much there. Just a little, just a little. You see those dots? We're gonna make magic with those dots now. I'm using the Duo brush and I'm gonna spread my dots. The dots will spread. Trust that they will spread. And also make sure you use eye cream or something extra hydrating up on that area. Get your Vanny cream out and use it, because on days when you feel like using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, your under eye area will thank you. It's not ultra hydrating, but I don't feel like I use so much that anything's a problem for me either with this. Get it around that nose, tackle that redness. I know it looks like we're gonna be crazy bright, but everything's gonna come together. Taking the larger side of my brush and using that to really blend the product in. See, we've got good coverage and we're brightened. As the winter goes on, it will probably become an increasingly good shade for me to have, but it's just a little bit light right now. How about Wicked Night with Dancing with the Stars, huh? That was so good. I just felt like I was loving every single dance, every single one. I've got numerous steps that did not have to be restocked, so I'm gonna move on and just jump back in when I have something else to talk about. Hey gang, I've completed the complexion steps. I used the L'Oreal Infallible Blurfection. Why do I struggle with that? Blurfection. It's the Blurfection powder in Pink Light. e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder Filter, that's in light neutral. That's all over where I didn't use the loose powder. And then I've got on my Rimmel Natural Bronzer. This is my Sun Bronze shade. As I mentioned, I purchased, maybe this counts as a restock, but I was in Walgreens. I was taking advantage of a buy one, get one, and I saw Sundance and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so much darker than everything. Did they change Sundance? Not really. It seems like they maybe took some shimmer out of Sundance, actually. Maybe it's slightly warmer than Sun Bronze, but for sure not darker. Like, what happened? And then for blush today, I'm like, I'm using a blush that has not been touched in a while. This one. Anybody know just by looking what MAC blush shade I'm holding up here? What shade is that? Do you want to do a video where I just quiz you on what the shade is of certain iconic products? Makeup trivia, let me know if you want that, because I would do that for you. This is Mocha from MAC. It looks so nothing, you know, but it's something. It's like blush without looking really blushy. It's so pretty. And I even like to look really blushy. And then this from Milani. This is that perfect, like very high-end-esque highlighter that I continue to just have in a mini because I'm not using it up anytime soon. And I've got that on my high points of my face. And now we're to the brows, where I made a couple of repurchases. I got the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Nano Pencil. Now I know I stated on my channel I had been using the Morphe Nano Pencil in Java, and I was like, you know guys, the prices of these, Morphe is just a little bit cheaper than the CoverGirl. I was finding CoverGirl priced at around $10 or something, and I'm like, they're so identical in their function, I'll just go for whatever is the cheaper one when I need to repurchase, right? Well, as I saw this more recently on Walmart's website, it's down to like $8 and change, and so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and get the CoverGirl again then. Yeah, I have no loyalty. Like, I feel like the Nano Pencil from CoverGirl and the one from Morphe, they're the exact same little nano-ness to them. They're skinnier than a Brow Wiz, skinnier than most pencils that are marketing themselves as skinny. I got medium brown, and I think I was actually dark brown before. Oops. But it has the spoolie at the other end. It's got, you know, your super duper fine tip. And I just feel like for somebody who has a decent amount of existing brow hair, these little pencils just shoot right through it and get right to your skin and put the product like right where you need it. Also, I feel like the CoverGirl one, maybe I really need to analyze the amount that was in each little tube, but I feel like I flew through the Morphe and the CoverGirl lasted me much longer. What was that? Runaway cotton rounds. I just feel like it takes so little work, especially on my right eyebrow, because that's my cooperative brow. Then you just go over here to your other side, the spoolie, brush through. No work, no effort. Did you guys notice that I've done my nails? This is the LA Colors gel nail, and the shade is called Au Natural. I think Walmart is selling that line of polish. I may have originally purchased it from Family Dollar, Dollar Tree. DG probably has some. This brow just makes me work for it a little bit more because I actually, to make it even with the other brow, I have to fill in slightly above the brow just slightly. I'm still within hairs, but it's more sparse. I've realized like that's what makes it harder for me. And then you gotta fluff a little here, but I do that on both. But I just love my little super skinny pencil. I still own other brow pencils, but it's like, if we're talking favorites, if we're talking something we really want to have on hand. And I was just surprised to see the price going down on something. Normally the prices are just going up. Here's another thing I repurchased, guys. I got a new Brow Fast Sculpt or Brow Express Brow is what it is. Medium brown. One of the smartest brow products of all time, for sure. It's all about the brush. It's also all about this formula that holds so well. But the brush is such that it's short bristles on one end. That's going to put more product in your brows. It's longer bristles on the other. That's going to help you freely fluff without overloading your brow. It's one of the only products I have in my collection where I do feel like it can do the whole brow on its own. If I wanted to fill in and get the hold and just take care of all that together, like, it can do everything. I might not get as precise of a fill-in, but it's gonna get the job done. But definitely worth a repurchase for me, and it lasts me a long time. I do not go through this product quickly. And you can feel the hold locking in immediately. You know when something has touched your brow hair and it's freezing it. This one freezes it in. We're about to get into the last thing that I repurchased, but I'll let you know what's on my eyes. Wasn't that the last? Yeah, I did brows. You saw that. I put on Milani eyeshadow primer, and then I've got this little palette from Laura Geller called the Delectables Madison Avenue Mattes. Look what happened in here. Two of these little friends are cracked, and I tried like pressing them in. I took the end of this little e.l.f. brow tool, this mini like kind of spatula type thing. And I tried pressing in there with that because they're all like little domes in there. And I thought maybe that'll work, but I feel like I'm gonna actually need to go the whole 9 yards and like mix some rubbing alcohol into that. Hopefully it will solidify them a little more because they still seem very loose, but it's just a collection of matte neutrals. This is my second time using it. Very basic look. It's the type of palette. Do you ever have any palettes where you go into one shade and you're working with it and blending it, and then you look at the palette again to go to the other eye and you're like, I forgot actually what shade I was using, because everything just kind of, I don't know, kind of merges together a little bit for me here. But I know I used like these in the crease. This is my outer corner for sure, but it's all like kind of on a brown spectrum, with the exception of that's a black up there. I haven't worked with that one yet. Outside of the little cracked shadow issue, it's good for me. I'm not feeling necessarily must-have status on that one yet. Getting a bit more into this e.l.f. shadow stick in Cool Beans. So it's a matte, kind of cool tone brown, and I've got that on my lower lash line and on the upper lash line too. It does not go on as smoothly as a L'Oreal Lace shadow stick, but I just like the color tone. And then on my lashes, this mascara, as they say, it eats. This Rimmel Scandalize Volume on Demand, it's actually really good. I could go on and still add another coat over on this eye, but the thing I repurchased is a new lash extender. This one I think still has just a little more life in it, but very soon we will be coming into the new one, and I just get that in the pitch black shade. If you're not familiar with e.l.f. Lash Extender, it's a tubing mascara, and I pretty much have given it the job in my makeup of just lower lash line, because that's where it's really important to me to not have any smudging. So I just felt like the tube, like as I go in, I can tell things are getting a little bit low on this one. So I thought if we're on the topic of restocking, I will go ahead and restock that so I'm ready whenever this runs out. Okay, finished look. I just added on my lip. This is the little duo that they're selling. Maybelline is selling a holiday duo of a lifter liner and a lifter gloss. The liner is in Line Leader and the gloss is in Gummy Bear. Gloss is very sheer. It really just, I think, adds shine and maybe just a little blur to the lips slightly. It's just a little bit milky, but essentially the color you're seeing on my lips is the lip liner. I showed this being applied on a short video if you're interested. I'm really trying to get my short form content on every platform. So like if it's on TikTok, it's also getting on Instagram Reels, and it's also being posted as a YouTube short. And I've had some people say like, I like the shorts, but please don't stop doing the long videos. I'm not. This is my favorite thing, okay? I'm really having fun with the short stuff, but there's nothing like a good long YouTube video in my opinion. This is my home. This is my space. But yeah, that's my look today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little chat about restocks and everything else. It's like, I did didn't apply that many products, but I feel like I've been sitting here doing a full-length video. But I will see you guys again very soon. I love you. Bye.